What's up, third grade? We've been talking about recycling. We've been talking about paper airplanes. I want to make some recycled paper airplanes. Let's get building. Let's talk about some of the supplies that you guys will need. I have some old paper that I'm going to recycle and use again that I didn't need. A ruler. A marker that I borrowed from my sister. Some tape. This file folder, I don't know if I mentioned that or not. An old one. Scissors. And just some old-fashioned determination. All right, the first paper airplane we're going to make has my recycled paper here. Create special moments together with paper airplanes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it long ways, and sometimes I call this the hot dog style. Doing my best to line it up as best I can. And then I'm going to unfold it like that. I'm going to try and use a marker to mark all the folds. That way it's a little bit easier to see. So after I folded it in half hot dog style or long ways, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm not going to fold it all the way to the edge. I'm going to fold it so it's about an inch or so from the bottom. And I'm just going to push and smooth out this edge here. I'm going to open it up. And I have another fold, so I'm going to draw a line where that fold is. And then my next step, I'm going to fold to that line and smooth out the bottom. After that, I'm going to fold one more time. And I think it almost looks like a box with a lid on it at this point. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corner and I'm going to fold it all the way to the middle. Sometimes when kids do it, they try to fold it like that. I need the whole triangle piece here folded to the middle. And I do think it helps to have that line drawn just as a guide. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. It's okay if these aren't lined up exactly. Mine are pretty close, but I've still made very decent paper airplanes when there was a bigger gap like this on here. And I'm going to just open it back up. And again, I'm going to highlight my folds. Just so that I can see them and you guys can see them better. This next step is a little tricky. I'm going to grab one of the corners here and I'm going to fold it to this line, but I want it to go the whole way down. So when I fold it, this corner, I'm matching it up with that line right here, but I also want to go all the way down as far as I can here. When I fold it, I'm going to smooth it out. It kind of looks like a thin slice of pizza. I have one triangle here, and it also makes a little triangle there too. But a lot of times when we fold it, we kind of forget where it goes. I'm gonna hold it right to that line, push all the way down like that with a thin slice of pizza. And I wanna do the same thing on the other side. So when I fold it, I match it up with that line here. There's my two triangles. And I wanna go all the way down and smooth it out. Now, what I have here is a little pocket right inside. I'm going to tuck these pieces inside the pocket. So it just goes right inside like that. And this one right inside here. I'm going to push it down and smooth it out. And it kind of looks like a little teepee. My next step is I'm going to fold it, see where the smooth side is here? Fold it up like this, so that when I have my paper airplane, my folds are on the outside and it's smooth on the inside. The last steps are to gently fold these pieces all the way down to the bottom. Same thing for the other side. When I open it up, I've got a pretty cool looking paper airplane here. Now, the edges are a little bit different, but that's still okay. I think it's still gonna fly pretty well. Let's check it out. Now, when I throw my paper airplane, I'm not gonna whip it real hard like a baseball player. I'm gonna use a lot of my elbow. I'm holding it right in the middle. And if I had a full camera crew, you'd be able to see a little bit better. But I wanna see if I can get it to go towards the camera. I'm gonna try it one more time from above the camera, see if we can get it. Not bad, not bad. For our next airplane that we're going to make that's made out of recycled materials, this is a straw and tube paper airplane. Look how cool that looks. It almost looks like a military industrial plane with one of Mrs. Keir's fancy straws. I'm gonna show you how to make it. Okay, I am starting out with just an old file folder that was in Mrs. Brown's drawer. Shout out to Mrs. Brown. And I took the metal part out of the side here. And what I'm gonna do first is, I don't want this little strip, so I'm just going to trim it off. If I can put the picture right in here, there we go. I don't want this piece. And I'm gonna use a ruler just so that my lines are a little bit straighter. This fancy pink marker. And I'm lining it up right here like that. And this is going to be my thicker piece. It's okay if you don't go exactly on the line. And I'm going to use my ruler again for a thinner piece, because in my original, this was really thick. I'm going to try slightly thinner for my thick piece here. And I'm going to use my ruler again for a nice straight line. And I'm going to make it even thinner than the first time. And since I want it extra thin, I'm going to try and cut on the inside of the line here, just as a guide. If you don't have a ruler at home, you could use a book, or you could just eye it up and try it without a ruler. So I've got my thin piece here. I might want to make it just a little thinner to match up with the other side. So I've got my two pieces. And I'm going to get a straw. This time, I'm going to use a plastic straw and see how that works. I'm going to start by taking my strips and folding them into circles. So again, to do that, wrap it around. You can make it as wide or as thin as you want. Grab some tape. I'm just gonna wrap the extra on the inside here. And I don't know if it matters if there's a little bit of a gap, but this time I'm just gonna try and tape it closed on the inside here. So this is my larger, thicker circle. And here's my thin one. And I'm gonna make it smaller than the big one to start. And I think I might even trim off some of my extra since it's gonna be my smaller circle. All I do is just wrap it around a couple times. I'm putting one more piece of tape to tape down that inside part here that's sticking up. My other takeaway is that I probably need to lotion my hands a little better. And here's my straw. I had trouble at first putting these circles on the straw. I think it's easier if you take your tape and put it on the straw first. And then I'm gonna lay it. You wanna get it as perpendicular or straight as you can. So I'm lying it right here. Before I push down, I want to make sure it's as straight as I can before I tape it on. Not too bad. And then I want to do the same thing for the front of my straw plane. Lined up here. I don't want to have that tape block the hole, so I'm going to move it back a little bit and try and get it on there as straight as possible. And there we have it. I have a full-length straw, smaller one in the front, larger one in the back. Let's see how it flies. Okay, I'm in between the steam room and the gym, and I'm gonna see how far I can get this straw and circle plane to fly, or if it'll fly at all. It actually went pretty high. I'll try to aim it a little bit lower. There we go. That airplane worked pretty good, but now I want to change a variable. A variable is to change one thing, make one thing different on our plane. I like the circles here, but I want to change up the length of the straw and see, will it fly better or worse? We'll go longer, we'll go shorter, we'll do different tricks. So to save on materials, all I'm gonna do is gently pull off the tape here. And what I'll do, I didn't like that angle, is I'm gonna trim down my straw. I wanna see how long the straw is first using my ruler. This straw is 9 inches. So I used my ruler, I measured it here, 9 inches. I'm gonna take off 3 inches and see if that makes a difference. So with the marker that I borrowed from my sister, I put a little line on here to mark off where 6 inches is. And I'm just going to snip that part of the straw off. Now I have a 6-inch straw and a 3-inch straw. I'm gonna use fresh tape, that way it stays on a little better. And I think it's easier to put the tape on the straw first and then put it right on your circle that you made. Trying to put it on as perpendicular or straight as possible. This straw does have a slight bend to it, I noticed. So I'm only going to change one variable or one thing with my experiment. Tape goes on the straw first. Now I have a 6-inch plane. Let's see how it works. This is the 6-inch airplane. Let's see. Not bad. Let's try it again. It seemed to twirl down a little bit or spiral down. Let's get a little crazy Bob Ross style and try the 3-inch straw that I already had cut off from my extra. So again, I'm just gonna pull off my circles very gently. The only thing I'll get new is fresh tape. And I have a very small 3-inch circle here. So I need to plan out that I have enough room for my plane when I put it on there. So I won't be able to go all the way. So I don't want it to be right at the edge. So I want to move it out like this. You can experiment and see what works better. Maybe it works better to be slightly off the bottom or all the way on. Tape is on the straw first. You want to put it on here as straight as you can. I'm changing the angle up a little bit to see if that helps. Pretty straight to me. I get my second piece of tape and put it on the other end of the straw. Remember, don't cover up that hole there. as straight as I think I can get it. Squeeze down these extra parts here. Let's see how it works. All right, here's our plane with the 3-inch straw. It still kind of flew, but it didn't go very far. More of just kind of floated and then crashed. Let's try it one more time. 3-inch straw. Little spiral and went down. This went the least far compared to all. So guys, the variable I changed this time was the length of the straw. I started out at a full 9 inches and then cut it to a 6 and then a 3. The first one I made ahead of time. Let's measure it and see how long this straw is. Like 7 3/4 for this straw. I just used my ruler that I had, measured the length of it. It looks like the straw comes almost to the end on the thick side and almost to the end on the thinner side. A difference with this one is this is a fancy paper straw and this was a plastic straw, so that's a different variable to test out. We tested out the length of the straw first. You could try types of straws, plastic straws. They even have like metal ones now, or silicone kind, like the rubbery kind like that, and see which one would fly better, which one would fly worse. And I think the main thing is to try and predict what you think will work and then see what happens by actually making it. Thanks for watching. I hope you check it out.